Hey, Kelly. Okay, let's test your audio.
Hi.
Yeah, so much
Hello,
better.
testing,
Thank you.
testing,
Very good.
testing,
Sounds
testing.
good. Okay,
Okay, great.
so awesome. This is my plan, you guys, because typically I will do a Zoom, I will extract the audio and create a podcast and edit it. But since we're going to be doing this, I don't think I'm going to edit any of this. So I'm already recording. I've already recorded our silliness, Mark, at the top. So Kelly, that's what we're going to do. Mark, I'm just going to do this. Welcome everyone to the Wendy Cooper Show. This is, we're here with Mark Anthony, the psychic medium, lawyer. I'm going to read a little bit of your bio here, Mark. So Mark Anthony is the psychic lawyer. He's also known as the psychic explorer. He's the author of the best-selling book, Evidence of Eternity and Never Letting Go, which I have read both and they deeply touched me. An Oxford-educated trial attorney licensed to practice law in Florida, Washington, D.C., and before the United States Supreme Court. He appears regularly, like all the time, on television as a legal analyst, psychic medium, expert on the paranormal, after-death communication, and near-death experiences. And that is my friend, Mark Anthony.
Thank you, Wendy, for having me on the show. It's always great working with you, and I can't wait until I'm back out there with you in LA.
Yes, I can't wait. Also, Kelly, welcome. So Kelly is here today, and she is a friend of mine, but we are going to be doing a live reading experience. And so this is going to be interesting. Mark, can you explain a little bit for the audience and for Miss Kelly what we're going to be doing? And I wanted to also mention about the radio show. Your radio show. Can you talk a little bit about that first?
Yeah, absolutely. Every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Eastern, and all times in between on either side of that, I co-host a radio show, The Psychic and the Doc, on Transformation Talk Radio Network. And my co-host is Dr. Pat Basili, who's the founder of Transformation Talk Radio. Also, she is the star of the hit, The Dr. Pat Show. If people want to find out about how to tune in, kindly visit my website, which is evidenceofeternity.com, same as my book, Evidence of Eternity. And I invite everyone to please also subscribe to my newsletter. So The Psychic and the Doc, every Thursday, you call in, I do a mini reading, then you get the benefit of Dr. Pat's no-nonsense, street smart, spiritual, behavioral, psychological wisdom. And it's a great, fun show. And you know what, Wendy, I really want to have you as a guest on that show because first off, we always have such a good time, and you have so many positive things to offer people, and you'll be a perfect fit for the show.
Oh, thank you. Mark's awesome like that. He knows how to make me feel super good. That's why I like to have him on the show. Anyway, okay, so Kelly is just here. We're not going to say anything about Kelly.
Okay.
Okay. So
yeah,
Mark.
Let me explain what I do. I'm a psychic medium, and what that means is I communicate with spirits. And everything that I do is about frequency. So when I open up my brain to higher frequencies, spirits are going to come in. Now, we've got Kelly that I'm going to be doing the reading on, but that doesn't mean one or more people for Wendy might pop in. So if they do, Wendy, let me know. I know I'm not a bouncer. I can't tell them, no, you can't come, go back to the other side. And the thing is, Kelly and Wendy, sometimes the information that comes through does not immediately make sense to you. It takes time after the reading. I call that the unfolding. Think of the readings like a flower, blooms, blossoms, unfolds. Mm-hmm. That can take hours, days, weeks, and even longer. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the person that you really want to hear from is not the first person to pop in. Real quick example, I was doing a session for these two sisters. They were here in Florida. I think they're in their early 30s. Their mother spirit comes through and begins to talk to me about their other sister. Now, the other sister's alive and well. She just wasn't at the reading, and she lives along the Gulf Coast of Florida. And the mother kept giving me Michael, the name Michael, and 10/11, October 11. And they said, come on, Mark, everybody knows somebody named Michael. And I said, yeah, very common name. I mean, I've got 3 Michaels in my own family. And they couldn't think of anything in their family that had happened in October. So 10/11, October 11th made no sense. So my motto is, if you don't get it, don't sweat it. I'd rather you just jot it down because it will most likely make sense to you later on. They contacted me roughly 2 months after the reading and said, Mark, we figured it out. 10 days after we did the reading with you, it was October 11th. And on that day, Hurricane Michael hit our sister's hometown. She went into labor 3 weeks early and had her baby girl on October 11th during Hurricane Michael.
Oh
okay. And Michael was a really bad one. That was a category 5. And, you know, we were laughing. I mean, we were laughing. And I'm thinking, God, that poor woman. I mean, yes, childbirth is beautiful and all that. But during a category 5 hurricane 3 weeks early, I think the mother spirit was probably trying to say, get her out of there. You know, so, but the thing is, at the time of the reading, none of that made sense.
Right.
A couple weeks later, most definitely it did. So.
Okay, so get ready, everybody, to obsess over what Mark's about to do.
We're launching into this first. Okay. Let me also say that when they come in, first I'll get a gender, then I'll get an idea of their relationship to you. So if I say they're on your level, that's your generation. Below your level, child, niece, nephew. Above your level, parent, aunt, uncle, so on and so forth. They don't have to be relatives. Like a lady on the mother level could be a stepmother, mother-in-law, boss, teacher, professor that you may have had. And after that, they're going to start transmitting to me all types of information. I'll see things, hear things, feel things, and know things. They tend to give me usually how they passed. I'll pick up all types of physical sensations. Different causes of death may have a similar physical sensation to me. So if I talk like impact to the head, that could be head trauma, stroke, aneurysm, but it could also be a quick passing because I get a jolt. Anyway, I could go on. Normally in my private readings, the telephone readings, and in the in-person readings, I spend about 15 minutes doing an orientation to bring you up to speed on all of that. So,
but only because I'm so cheap, I have the free Zoom. I only have 40 minutes. That's why I figure, well, we better cut to the chase, right?
Okay. Kelly, do you have any questions about the process?
No, none at all. I did a little, I watched some of your videos and it seems pretty clear to me. I'm good.
Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 people around you, and I'm picking up on a female energy coming through. And she's stepping forward and she keeps pointing to her throat. And I'm getting this like, sensation. So there was definitely something going on with her throat. Feels like in her larynx, I'm getting this really raspy voice. Excuse me. And I'm getting a lot of pain and pressure in my head. So what was going on with her? Something was affecting her mental focus and clarity prior to her passing. This also feels like there was something going on inside of her head. This could be high blood pressure. And the weird thing is I'm getting like these lumps, like here. And my first impression would be maybe that could be some type of brain tumors. But what I'm thinking, Kelly, is because I'm also getting these little tingles and shocks in my tongue. This was neurological. So she could have been having or had a series of little mini strokes prior to passing. Plus I'm getting this tingly thing on the base of my skull. And that was also part of what was making it difficult for her to speak and to articulate. And that this condition did not take her right away. It was a declining sensation. And now I'm feeling this, my lungs filling up with fluid. So this could be, of course, it could be pneumonia or congestive heart failure. It could be some other ailment, but I do feel fluid buildup in the lungs. And I'm really feeling that what ultimately took her was a condition in the lungs that feels like a congestive heart failure. Hold on, there's more. Now my feet are getting all icy and cold and tingly. Okay, so there was circulation issues. So to recap, we had something going on inside of her head, her brain, which is also coupled with high blood pressure. Feels like could be a series of mini strokes, difficulty for her to articulate prior to passing. You know, and what's fascinating about this, it does feel like she knew what was going on. This doesn't feel like that she was overwhelmed with dementia or some type of mental block. I mean, she wasn't as sharp as she was before all this happened, but she was aware of this. And then I'm feeling what appears to be congestive heart failure, and now I'm getting a lot of pains in my legs, cramps, in addition to the circulation issues. Does any of this make sense to you?
It is tapping into a person who's extremely close to me.
Okay, hold on. Rubies, 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 rubies. She's throwing rubies at me. Rubies are cool. Okay. Rubies are also the birthstone for the month of July, which could mean births, deaths, anniversaries, or events connected you or her or someone close to you within the month of July. And this could also mean a piece of jewelry connected to you or her, or that you would recognize of significance with a ruby in it. And the funny thing about rubies is it can also be a trigger for a name like Ruby, sometimes Rudy. And because we're talking about July, it could also be a Julie as well. Now, when I give this whole list of things, different symbols are going to have more than one potential meaning. But what I think doesn't matter, it's what it means to you. So if you have a different interpretation than mine, we always go with yours over mine, because the reading's not about me, it's about you. Does anything with rubies, the name Ruby, Rudy, or Julie, rubies, or the month of July have any significance to you?
Not yet, but let me just keep with that.
Let's broaden the parameters. It doesn't have to be with this person. It could be in some other way, or she could be talking about something coming up. Oh, hold on. Wendy's raising her hand. Go ahead, Wendy.
Okay, so can I just say who I think?
Just say the relationship of the person.
The relationship, my husband's mother, my mother-in-law.
Oh, okay, your mother-in-law. So we may have two people here now. Okay, we have. See, I love when this happens. Wow, I wish I had more time to explain collective consciousness communication. But what happens is spirits come in a group. So your mother-in-law is coming through. Okay, what's with you and Merlot, Wendy? Merlot.
Oh God, that's my husband. That's the with the wine. He collects all this freaking wine.
Okay, so that's she's telling me it's funny because she's telling me that he has recently secured a really good Merlot that's almost more like a Cabernet Sauvignon because it's smoother. Okay, does that make any sense?
Oh, Jesus. Kelly, can you believe this? Kelly knows she's seen the refrigerators. This makes complete sense. Thank you, Mama Gina. Thank you.
All right, hold on, Kelly. Back to your person. Hold on. I keep hearing giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Is there something about you and horseback riding?
Yeah, probably when I was younger, definitely, and eternally wishing for that. Yes.
Okay, because I'm like, giddy up, giddy up. Oh, you had the cutest little cowgirl outfit. They're showing me this little pink hat with a little white, stitching in it, and you had your little Annie Oakley dress. You are adorable. I mean, you're beautiful now, but they're showing me like you in this little cowgirl dress, and you're a girly girl, lots of pink. Not make any sense to you?
Well, I'm not the girly girl, lots of pink, but my great aunt Sophie is. I mean, lots of pink.
Well, you know what it is? Girly girls can be alpha females and can be very adventurous, and so, but she's showing you just being this cute little adorable, getting the whole giddy up thing. Now, what they're concerned about with you is something connected with your liver. Now, I don't want you panicking like, oh my God, liver cancer or something like that. But when they focus on you, Kelly, I'm feeling something here. Let me direct this so you can see where I'm pointing. I'm getting something in my liver, and I don't know if you've been having some swelling or tenderness in this region at the bottom of the rib cage on the right side. Does any of that make sense to you?
Not yet, but let me I'll keep focusing on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly, if I might, I think it might help Mark. Mark, is it okay if Kelly talks about how her mother maybe passed?
Oh yeah, right. You're right,
right?
Wendy.
Okay, so
Yes,
this is
yes,
it comes in weird ways. So just
yes.
Okay, did your mother have issues with her liver?
Yeah, she had pneumonia, and then it was from alcoholism.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's interesting, and I'm not being facetious,
Mhm.
how the spirits first would get your mom who had the pneumonia situation. Now she's talking about the liver, and then they were talking about Merlot and wine. Okay, which is Wendy's mother-in-law. And now they're bouncing back to you. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So that is kind of cool.
Mhm.
Okay. Hold on. Drivers. I don't understand what they mean by that. Drivers. See, when I think of drivers, I think of driving a car, but I also think of golf. So I
Mhm.
don't know if you golf. Is there something about drivers, or does the word drivers? I'm trying to think. Like in a computer, we always have a driver for a computer
Mhm.
program, but there's something with you, Kelly, that she's telling me called drivers. Does that make any sense?
I don't know. Not. I just. It sounds like it's like a puzzle. So I'm just writing it
Oh
down
yeah,
to kind of
yeah.
see how it works. Okay.
Each piece of information that comes through is the piece of a puzzle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And she said that you were very kind and considerate toward the end of her physical life.
Mhm.
She said you always had positive things to say, and
Mhm.
she said that there was no judgment. There was no judgment.
Aw.
She said you
Oh.
made me feel dignified. You made me feel beautiful, and
Mhm.
she said that also the two of you were so very different,
Mhm.
so very different. She said, but that really never. She said, yeah, it could be complicated at times, but it was just fine toward the end.
Oh,
And she
good.
just put in front of me this big bowl of cherries. I'm tasting cherries, cherries, cherries. Now, cherries could mean you love cherries, hate cherries. She loves cherries, hate cherries. Could be named
Mhm.
like Jerry, but I'm tasting like Bing cherries. Does it make
Okay.
sense to you in any way? Love them, hate them?
I'm just putting it all together. I just have to like put it all together and kind of think of what that could be.
Well, let me ask you this. When you think of cherries,
Mhm.
what comes to mind for you?
What comes to mind for me? I suppose summertime, and that's all I got for you right now. I'm sure it'll come together.
Is there a significance? Go ahead, Wendy.
Yeah.
it's it has nothing to do with me, but I understand the method that uh, cherries to me means they taste good. Maybe I'm going to hit the pit with my teeth. I'm going to break my teeth, or so what does cherries mean to you? Don't try not to connect it, Kelly, but what does
Okay.
cherries mean to you?
Yeah, go to what it means to you. What happened? See, here's the thing, Kelly. You're very analytical, and when
Okay.
people overthink things,
Yeah.
and that's something else to talk. That creates a barrier. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're being hyper analytical. It's like dream interpretation. Go with the first thing that hits you. Is there some connection with you or someone close to you within the month of February? Birthdays, anniversaries,
Yes.
or events?
Yes.
Cherries, George Washington, cherry tree, birthday, February. Boom. That's how this works. Okay.
Okay. Got
What's
it.
the deal in February?
My mom's birthday. It's
And there we go.
yeah.
Okay, mom's birthday.
Thanks.
See, once you lowered your analytical deflector
Yes.
shields, boom, the doors open wide open. Okay.
Okay.
Is your dad on the other side too?
Nope. He's here with us.
Okay, because she's talking about him, and I
Mhm.
get this weird sensation in my fingers
Okay.
and some stiffness. Is dad having some grip strength or some
Yeah.
arthritis
Absolutely.
problems?
Sure.
Yeah. She's telling me that he keeps wanting to put his hands in something hot, like hot water, when
Okay.
actually he should be icing them, is
Okay.
what she's telling me. Because what happens is she's telling me that your father always goes for the feel good solution right up front. And the
Okay.
warm water or whatever he's putting his hands in feels good initially. But what's going on is there's inflammation in all the tendons and the joints, and he needs to get the inflammation down.
Okay.
Also, I'm smelling and tasting arnica gel. So I don't know if he rubs arnica gel on his hands.
Okay.
He may, and also, and I always have to say this because I'm a lawyer, run this by your healthcare professional.
Yep.
But he may want to consider taking arnica montana as well. But there's arnica gel. Hold on. What's with your parents in the month of May? Your mom keeps showing me images of the month of May, and I keep seeing all these big red hearts. or does the month of May have a significance to you? And now there's more. I know this is going to sound really goofy. Like, I live near Disney World, and you guys, I guess you're in LA, you're near Disneyland, but your mom keeps showing me images of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Okay. Now, we all know who they are, but there's got to be some Disney connection, or somebody with the name like Mick or Mickey or Nick, or a Min or a Minnie, or something with those particular characters. Anything ring a bell there? She's analyzing again. First thing I'm going to think of with Disney. Go ahead.
I just can't. I guess with Disney, you know, I go to Disney all the time when I could, and so
there you go.
I mean,
that would be yes.
I was
okay.
a card holder, and
okay, so this is your mom confirming, you know, like, I know you went to Disneyland, Kel.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, this is a verifiable fact following the message. When a spirit gives me a message of an explanatory advisory nature, which he was giving us some treatments for your dad's arthritic or the rheumatoid conditions. Also, I'm getting a pain now in my left elbow and left forearm as well.
Yeah.
That the arnica and the ice is going to help.
Okay.
Also, she said your dad would probably say blah, but green tea, drinking green tea will be very good for him. And she said, here's how you outmaneuver that old fox. You make it iced green tea with some lemon and fresh mint, and he'll like it.
Okay.
And apparently there's an antioxidant quality which is in the green tea and the mint. The mint and the lemon's going to help with his urinary tract issues as well.
Good.
Okay. So
it's great that you said Old Fox, because that's his name, is Swamp Fox.
Aha! Oh, mom is cooking. See what happens is when you're not analyzing and you're receiving it. Okay, his name is Fox.
His handle is, yep, Fox. Exactly.
There you go. Perfect. So there's yet another verifiable fact following message. She also wants him to know that she knows that not a day goes by that he doesn't mourn her. And that she heard him on many occasions say, it should have been me, not you. It should have been me, not you. And she goes, well, it wasn't you, so you need to take care of yourself while you're here. And she said, and stop throwing the pity party. She said, you're a good man. Always were, always will be. I love you.
Okay.
Oh, your parents, very direct to each other. This isn't one of those fluffy, buffy romances. I love you. Did I tell you that? I love you. I mean, that's kind of how she's telling me you were or they were. And that's really kind of cool. Hey, what's with cinnamon? Tasting lots of cinnamon. I use cinnamon
every day.
Verifiable fact following the message. Okay, so that's how I know it's well, spirits know because I'm an evidential medium, and they know that I want verification. So they'll give me these messages. So that message is about she's heard your dad, and she knows he wants him to stop doing this. Oh, I should have died, not her. She said, yeah, I hear that, but stop it. Make the best of while you're there, because you've got some good times to go. Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. I'm seeing a nickel, a buffalo head nickel.
I live in Buffalo, Wyoming.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What's the connection with Buffalo, Wyoming?
I have lived in Buffalo, Wyoming.
Verifiable fact following the message. Boom.
Ding!
Okay.
I'm going to add sound effects to this.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why they bring these things up. And you see, she showed me a buffalo head nickel, and that's how they get me. And see, I had no idea there was a Buffalo, Wyoming, but I do know there's a Buffalo, New York. So my interpretation would have been Buffalo, New York, but your interpretation is more important than mine because the reading's not about me, it's about you. And so there you go. You used to live in Buffalo, Wyoming. Okay.
Are we able, when you're doing this, is like Kelly able to ask a question?
Sure, go right ahead.
You know, to her mother?
Yeah, avoid the what was the combination to my locker in high school questions.
Right.
You know, because if we're going to ask them that, let's just ask for Powerball numbers.
Exactly. It's I wonder if there's Wendy, do you have something that, I guess I would ask something like, what is a message to me that like regarding where I'm at, I guess. Is that something I could ask?
Okay,
Like,
do they have a message for me, like,
Yes.
of like where you're, hold on.
Kelly, I'm going to send you the video. You're going to have all
Thank
this.
you. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
Right? You don't have to write it if
Okay.
you don't want.
There's three, seems like three types of offers that are being put to you right now that are related to your career and to your business. And one of them you're like, and they said, yeah, that one. But there's the other two that there's the quandary with. Okay. And the issue here isn't about money. It's about what's bringing you the most creative satisfaction. Because your mom is telling me that you need your voice to be heard and you need your creative flower to blossom. So you have to go with what is going to give you the most creative control and freedom. Does that make any sense to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. In what way? So that, you know, the
I
listeners
suppose
are...
as a freelance editor, what I choose, you know, to work on, and do I take the lead and, you know, either create sort of my own post house where I can pick and choose a little bit more of what I want to work on.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they're telling me. And, you know, certainly you want to make money and have a good living, but they're telling me that it's the creativity that's going to make you the happiest.
Okay.
That's so weird because that speaks to me too. I mean, totally speaks to what's happening to me right now in my life. So that's like is it possible the group of them is talking to both of us?
This very good, Wendy. Thank you for asking it. In my group events, I call this collective consciousness communication. People tend to think that spirit communication is individualized, one spirit for one person, but spirits are part of a collective. Think of your soul as a drop of water. When we die, it plunges into this ocean of souls. So when they communicate with us, a group of those souls, so we get a glass of water, okay, coming through. And even though the message is directed at Kelly, it actually is targeted as well as at Wendy, because they know that I'm only capable of handling one basic thought or transmission at a time. But collective consciousness communication means that a collective of spirits are sending to me a message that even though it's addressed to Kelly, if it resonates with other people, you need to take that as well. And what I've seen is, like in a group event, maybe, you know, there are a couple hundred people there. Like one time or several times, I was doing like all these young men who had died from suicide came through, and all their I started describing them, and it resonated with like 10 different families, and they stood up and there was a message for each one of them. Or sometimes several spirits will come through to give messages to somebody that information far exceeded the scope of anything that this person knew when they were alive in our world, because they're patched into the collective consciousness. Edgar Cayce used to refer to this as the universal mind. And I understand, you know, his terminology, but I prefer collective consciousness. Basically, we're patched into a cosmic internet, if you will. And that's why spirits can and will bring up things about past, present, future events and things that far exceeded the scope of anything they knew in this world.
So that's interesting, because you could say as the receiver, right, that how would they know that? Right? Like
People
they weren't
do that
even
to me all
alive
the
when
time.
it happened.
Oh, they start. I had a very contentious person I did a reading for a couple of weeks ago, argued with me on everything, and I just had to stop at one point. Well, he didn't know that. He didn't know that. He did, and it's like, I don't know how many times I can explain that spirits are not just invisible people limited to who or what they knew when they were in this world. They have transitioned to another frequency, and now they are pure energy, and they move at the speed of light, and they're patched into this infinite database. And that's why they come through and give these things that they do. The other thing that they want you to know, Kelly, is there's something coming up in the Gemini timeframe Gemini runs roughly from May 20th to June 20th, births, deaths, anniversaries, or events. Does this make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is an event that's coming up for you. This is some type of opportunity. And it's weird because they're waving a yellow flag, not a red flag, not a green flag, but a yellow flag. So there, to me, I interpret that as there's something, it's a good opportunity, but you have to be cautious about it. Does that make any sense?
It does, yes.
Mm-hmm. You need to get paid up front.
Oh God, you are talking to me too, Kelly. They're talking to both of us.
Well, that's because we got both of you here, and your folks are harmonizing with each other. Okay.
Okay.
Wendy, is there something going on with your car, specifically the front end on the driver's side, that needs to be checked?
No, we just fixed it. We just put in new shocks. Yes. After
Verifiable fact following the message.
Yes.
Boom. Okay. Because they just gave you a bag of jelly beans, Kelly. But they're only jelly beans. And I'm tasting only 2 flavors here. Interesting. The black ones, which are licorice, and the green ones, which are lime. Anything there?
Well, jelly beans are, I had a bag of jelly beans recently, literally a bag of jelly beans recently. And it made me change my whole way of thinking about my relationship with food. I know that sounds silly, but
because
you ate too many of them.
I did. And so it made me change. I'm changing my ways because of that.
Let me tell you what beautiful. See, this isn't some random thing. This is what I call spiritual synchronicity. Recently, you ate a bag of jelly beans. And after that, you started thinking this was not good.
Yes.
All right. You started thinking that, number one, it was you. Number two, it's your collective of spirits, spearheaded, if you will, by your mom. And now they're transmitting this to me to verify and validate that those thoughts that you got about changing your philosophy on eating was correct. Okay.
Awesome.
So, and let's face it, how many doctors are going to tell you you need to eat more jelly beans and get sugar and high fructose corn syrup in your diet?
Exactly. That's so funny.
I eat Good and Plenty's all the time. I mean, and I don't like the way my mouth feels after I eat those stupid Good and Plenty's. And I'm like a little bit addicted to them.
Because what is your body telling you? So, all right, hold on. Poisson. That's French for fish. Poisson. Now, it's interesting that it's coming to us in French. Now, eating seafood for most people is good, unless some people abhor it. But poisson, there's got to be something with the French language or connection to France, which is all right. Wendy's nodding yes.
That's Wendy.
That's me.
Okay.
Because I lived in France. I had a French boyfriend, and Marino, my husband, and I know we sit and we do watch French stuff, and I do listen to French. I go on Clubhouse and listen to French rooms.
Okay, so you eat poisson. Okay.
Yeah, I don't eat the poisson, but I would do like to say it. Poisson.
Poisson. I know it sounds so much better.
Don't say the N, Mark. Don't say the N. Don't be weird and say the N.
Poisson.
Yeah, poisson. I'm getting hot. Okay. So
one of the funniest things when I was in France, you know how we'll say go to the French restaurant and order the and so we have these commercials that do that. So I'm in my hotel room and I listen to the TV and it was like they were showing a commercial about football and they go, football d'Americain, it's bon. And I'm like, they're speaking French with a Brooklyn accent.
That's hilarious.
That's how they imitate Americans, is when they speak French, they affect a really heavy Brooklyn, New York accent. It was one of the funniest things. And at that time, I was fairly decent with French, and I understood enough of what they were saying. It was hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah, that is funny. Okay, hey, you guys, we're at the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
No pun intended. And
all right, so let's see what we can get these folks. Any parting messages? Is there a Christine connected to either one of you? I'm hearing Christine.
Yes, me and you, Kel.
I have Christina's. I have a couple Christina's.
Okay.
I have a Christine that's on the other side.
Oh, okay. I think then
Cool.
that must be this one. Okay. Oh my God. Welcome to my shop. Let me chop your mop. Let me crop your top daintily. Wait, that's Bug Bunny's Barber of Seville. Wendy, are you going to be doing something with your hair in the near future?
No, but I just made it blonde again because it was getting a little too salt and pepper. If you know what I mean, Mark.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Christina is like, yeah, Christine, yeah, I know what you do with your hair. And she said, she was funny. Was she kind of over the top a bit? She said it looks fab-boo, which I guess is sort of a permutation on the word fabulous.
She is actually my ex-sister-in-law. She was my best girl in my wedding or whatever. And yeah, she passed away quite a long time ago.
Well, okay, so she wanted to pop
And she was
in.
crazy. She smoked a lot of pot, drank a lot of booze, had a good time.
Was she Fabu?
Fabu.
Yeah, she was Fabu for sure.
Yeah, it's like not a word I would use, but I get the drift. Now, Kelly, is there a Randy? A Randy could be Andy, but they're targeting you, and I'm getting like Randy.
I've got an Andy.
Andy works.
Okay.
In my pre-explanation, I go through names: Randy, Andy, Mitchell, Michael, Cindy, Sandy. Okay. All right. What's going on with Andy? Andy in this world?
Andy's in this world. Yep.
Okay. You owe him a phone call.
Okay, I do.
Is his mom on the other side?
Not yet.
Okay. You owe him a phone call.
Okay.
Apparently his mom is headed in that direction.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell him like your mom,
won't.
is passing. But they
Watch this
need
video.
yeah,
Okay.
watch this. But there's somebody connected to him on the parent level, and it could be an uncle that is on the other side.
It is an uncle. Yes. Yes.
Ah, okay.
It is. Yes.
Okay. So
Okay, you guys, we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
all right, the uncle says, tell Andy hi. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Wendy.
You're welcome. So I know that it was Mama Gina for sure, because the ruby thing was something that Marino gave me when we first got together, gave me earrings with little rubies that came in the center, right? And the whole wine thing. So thank you. I just want to say, Mark, this is amazing what you do for people. And look at the smile on Kelly's face.
Yeah.
Would you?
This is so good. Thank you.
It's just, this is the power of, I highly recommend everyone read your books, because that changed my life. It changed my brother's life, as you know. He connected with his son who passed away from a head injury through you. I did that, and we had a message from my brother. It changed his life forever. He became a different person. He was free because Tommy had said, through you, let it go, right? This has just been and Kelly, thank you for being so vulnerable.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mark Anthony, you know I love you.
Love you too, Wendy. And Kelly, very nice to meet you. To
Nice
all
to meet
of Wendy's listeners, please keep tuning in, because with Wendy Cooper, you never know what to expect.
And this is going to cut off right at the minute, because Zoom is like, bitch, we're out of here. So anyway, Mark, thank you. Kelly, thank you. And I think I will post this. And Kelly, if I need to edit it a little bit, I'm going to send you the video.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank
Okay.
you. Appreciate
All right.
that.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a
Many
wonderful
blessings.
day.
All right. Thanks.